Hi guys, my name is Clarissa Solomon. Today's date is September 26th. Today I will be having the opportunity and honor to interview Panko Kaho. He is the MPT and owner of All In Physical Therapy. I hope you guys watch this video and gain some information from Panko. I hope you guys enjoy and let's get to it. What is your current job title and position, and how long have you been in this role of your position?
In this role, well, I'm the owner of this clinic.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I'm a physical therapist, of course. Okay. And so we opened this clinic 8 years ago. And so essentially, I still treat, but then I still have to do the daily activities of keeping a business running, stuff like that. But I still treat though, so I still have patients. I probably see around maybe about 6 to 8, sometimes 10 patients a day. Okay. And then we have other therapists here as well. Mm-hmm. So I think in total we might see anywhere between 35 to 40 patients a day. Oh, wow. Something like that.
Okay. Yeah. How did you land this position? And can you please describe your career path? Well, you already said that, but basically, how do you land this position and work in? Like, how do you feel in the environment that you work in?
Well, I've been a therapist for 20 years.
Okay.
And so I started out working in the hospital and working for different therapy companies. And then I got to the point where I was like, I think I can do this by myself. Right? Yeah. I don't need to work for somebody. Mm-hmm. And it kind of just was something like, I'm getting kind of old and I didn't want to wait too long before I tried something new. Mm-hmm. And so I think I'm 48 now. So I think when I was 40, I told my wife, I was like, listen, if I don't do it now, I don't think I'm going to do it. Right. And it's something that I've wanted to do for a while. And so she was always in my corner. So she was like, you know what, if you want to go ahead and do it, let's just go for it, because there's no guarantee, right, that it would, just like any business, that it would succeed. So we just kind of took a leap of faith. And luckily it worked out. Yeah. That's a good thing. Because we're doing well, so I can't complain. But so I guess from 20 years ago, I think all those experiences working for the hospital and so forth kind of guided me or prepared me to do this on my own.
That's good. What advice do you have for students like me who are interested in pursuing this career, and what was the obstacles that you had to face at any time during your process?
About applying?
Yes, and the whole process of schooling and...
Of school?
Yeah.
Well, are you going for PT or PTA?
I'm not really sure.
Not sure yet?
Which one.
Okay. So both are good, right? So a PTA, physical therapy assistant, right? Is a little bit easier, to be honest with you. It doesn't require as much schooling, but obviously then you don't have all the privileges and things that a physical therapist would have. But that doesn't mean that PTAs are not worthy. I mean, they're still, we employ 3 PTAs here. Wow. So it's not like we don't use them or don't like them. But obviously a PTA, as far as, if you look at the ladder, they're below, right? And then you have the PT, which is, in our little world, is the top of the food chain, right? So so as far as schooling goes, I believe it's a 2-year program for PTAs. You have to get your associates first, and then 2 years into the PTA program. And then for PT, it's a little bit more tricky, okay? So for PT, you have to have a bachelor's degree, right? And then you would apply to the program, just like your PTA program, you'd have to apply as well. But you'd have to apply to the PT program. And nowadays, I think all the schools now have transitioned into a doctorate program. So I believe it's a 3-year program. So you have your bachelor's, which is roughly 4. and then you have the doctorate, which is an extra 3 years now. So, so it's a lot of schooling, and I'm not saying that you can't do it, but it's harder, right? Because it's more schooling. And so what I would say, you need to really focus in on science and math, right? Those are the big ones, you know, and do well in those classes, because now they're really looking at GPA and stuff like that. And I think the other thing that a lot of admissions schools are looking for is what other activities are you doing, you know, outside of the classroom, right? So if they have like at the college where you're going, if they have like a club or something like a pre-physical therapy club, I definitely would consider joining that club or being a member of that. Definitely volunteer hours are always good. So if you can volunteer at, say, a place like this, or maybe at the hospital, you know, just trying to get hours to show people that, hey, look, I'm serious, you know, I'm not just goofing around. I really want to do this. And a lot of schools nowadays require that anyways. I think it's something like 20 to 50 hours of volunteer work. But I think the more the better. If you get started early, you can get more hours, you know. And then that would, I think, really help as far as, because I've actually sat on admissions committees, and you know, you get hundreds, thousands of applicants, and they all look the same, right? Really, I mean, the GPAs are all pretty good. Maybe like for PT, you have to take this special test called the GRE. So your GRE scores are roughly about the same, you know. And so how do we separate all these kids, right, from, and then, you know, so sometimes those volunteer hours, you know, letters of recommendation from certain people. So those are the, I think, the obstacles for kids now trying to get in. It's very competitive, you know. And I think the one good thing is that when I did it 20 years ago, there weren't as many schools. You know what I mean? So I think when I did it, I'm going to make up a number here, but let's just say it was like, in Florida at least, there was like maybe only 8 schools, right, that you could go. That was it. And then, so it was slim pickings. And I think now there's a lot more. I think there's probably, I'm going to make up a number, but probably like double that. Like, let's just say 15 to, so you have more opportunity, which is good, right? But then with more opportunity means you're going to get more applicants.
More people.
More people trying to get in, right? So it is very competitive, but I would never let that discourage you, right? Don't let that bother you. So if somebody says, oh, there's a lot, you know, that's really popular, major, you know, it's hard to get in. It's like, okay, well, you know, I'm gonna be one of those. Don't give up, you know, because I was told the same thing, you know. They're like, oh wow, you want to go to therapy, you know, that's really hard, you know, you're gonna, it's like, okay, that's fine, you know, I'll do what I gotta do. And it worked out for me, you know. But yeah, you know, I mean, I wouldn't let the naysayers, you know, because I actually knew of a couple of people that wanted to get into therapy, and they were smart people. They probably could have if they just put their minds to it, but they let people talk them out of it. You know what I mean? And one of them's a good friend of mine, and I knew that he was looking to get into PT as well. And I think after his sophomore year of college, you know, and people saying, oh, it's really hard, you know, it's going to be hard, he just kind of gave up and said, I'm going to do a different major, you know. So, and I think he would have made a great PT. That's what he wanted to do. But he let those people, you know, kind of talk him out of it. And I tried to tell him, I said, don't do that, you know. And he tried to talk me out of it, you know. And I was like, well, I'm going to keep going. And, you know, oh, you're crazy, you know, whatever. But, you know,
successful.
Well, I think the thing is sometimes if you listen to people talk too much, you know, it changes your mind.
You get embedded in
it. You know, and I mean, if it's something that you really want to do, yeah, I guess my advice would be don't let them, you know, change your mind. You know, if go for it. You know, you have to obviously work really hard and do all the things that we just talked about, but don't give up on it. You know, and that's what you really want to do. You know, because I've seen people that wanted to do it, and like I said, they just kind of threw it away too early, and I think that was sad because I think they probably could have done it. You know,
Right.
it's just that they let all these negative people talk to them
Mhm.
and say, "Oh, you're not going to get in. You know, don't waste your time."
Mm-hmm.
And then they just said, "You're right. No, I'm not going to do it." And, I mean, I think they're happy with what they're doing now,
Yeah,
but
but
you never know.
Yeah.
You know, maybe it would have been different. So that's what I would just say is, you know, do the hard work, but then also, you know, stay focused and don't let people change you from, you know, what your goals are and
Right.
what you want to do.
Last question is, the people that you work with, do you have a connect, like a bond outside of work, or is just mostly just work?
No, I think, you know, at least the people here, we're pretty close with them because we're kind of a smaller company, you know?
Yeah.
And so, I mean, we try to do a lot of team building events while we're here, you know? But then I think a lot of the employees, they still hang out after work, like they might go grab a bite to eat or maybe grab a drink or something like that, or go to the movies, you know? So, you know, unfortunately in my case, you know, I've got a lot going on,
Yeah.
so I can't hang out as much
Right.
with them, you know? But I hear about them going out, and when I was younger and didn't have as many kids, you know, a lot of the people that I used to hang out with at the hospital, you know, we would do all kinds of stuff together, you know, and even married couples, like we'd all go as a group.
Oh wow.
You know, my
That's
wife
nice.
and so my wife and I would go, and you know, other couples would go. So I think, you know, what you'll find is that people in the rehab community, they're usually pretty friendly people, because normally you wouldn't do this if you didn't like being with people. And so it's easy kind of to make friends and go out and do stuff. It's not like we don't have a rule that says, oh, you can't, you know, mingle with everybody. Yeah. You know, we try to promote an environment where the employees feel comfortable.
Right.
They feel like they're able to communicate on and off of work with their coworkers.
That's a good thing.
Yeah. We don't try to discourage that. You know, I think that's important too. I mean, you know, you have to work together. You might as well like each other.
Right.
You know? Yeah, like I said, we're a smaller outfit, so it's I guess maybe easier because there's not as many people. Well, like you know, places like the hospital, you know, you have so many other people there. It's maybe a little harder to get with everybody, but you know, you still might make, you know, obviously friends and stuff, but there's just so much going on. It's a little bit harder. But you know, we're kind of smaller, laid back, and I think you're able to hang out not just at work but after work as well.
That's good.
So yeah, we do try to encourage that if possible. You know, it's not a requirement, right?
Yeah.
Like you don't have to
I
have dinner every night.
Well, I thank you for the time that you
Sure, that's it. That's all you have.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.